Hi guys, and we're here at Teamsport Trafford in Manchester, and today we're going to be hitting the racetrack for a public 3for2. This track for me has some of my favourite series of corners. We've been racing with some great opportunities for overtakes, but it does come at its own cost of pandemonium unleashed, and trust me, today there's going to be chaos on the track. We have three guys with me today that I previously raced in Warrington, and later on we're going to find out there was actually two other guys from Bradford, my own home racetrack, but we'll be getting into those guys later. As we skip ahead to lap 2, we see that we're under yellow lights, and this guy here has managed to spin himself just on the apex of the final corner. So what we do is we let him rejoin the train, we have a little look over right shoulder, we missed the lights, and this fellow over here managed to get going. We went back to racing. It's a nice little tight squeeze here as we go down racing, and as we're coming up just under the bridge, he gets a little close to his mate, gives him a little love tap, and we reconsolidate our position here. And as we're about to start the race, the red lights are on, bringing it all to a stop. To be fair, I think these are just the test red lights, and then we'll crack on again. As we start the race again, we see this guy in front of us. He looks a little bit unsteady on his drive. So what we do is we give a nice little follow, getting ready for an overtake. So we follow him down the back straight, and as we get ready for the next left turn, he spins out, I give him a little tap, and we have to crack on again. Now here we have a nice little race coming up now, so as I take this next corner, one of the randoms actually gets a nice little inside part here, gets the overtake, just goes a little bit scruffy on the corner, which allows me to take the position back. I follow these nice tight little bits here, get the corner absolutely sweet, and follow it down. And again, as we come down here, I push it out a bit wide. He comes on the inside and we come racing around. A little bit of contact with the bumper for him, but I'll push him out as I've locked him out and get ready for following onto these corners. Now these are the kind of my favourite corners for driving around, because there's a lot of dueling you can have with people. Again, because I have a sloppy exit there, he gets on the inside of me again, ready for the next corner, and he just kind of has to avoid the other guy, and has a bit, again, another sloppy corner going around. So we'll carry on driving down here, and we get past a few of his mates on here, follow for the next corner, and now here I'm getting myself geared up for another little race on here. Just checking over my shoulder, making sure no one's going for a massive overpass here. Straight under the bridge, yellow flags are up, so my hand's gone up just to let other people know should really be going for it. We've got a couple of members on here, so in a minute I'm just going to be chasing this guy down, but there's a little point that I really want to push in there, and it'll become relevant later in the video. We've got these two guys here that push through, and they manage to take this corner nicely, give me enough room to come back up, but we'll bring that back up later. Now we're going to have a nice interesting fight with that guy. He's one of the locals that I know, so as we're coming around this next corner here, we're going to have a little bit of a slower exit here because he's a little bit faster than me. So as we drive around, for some reason I take a wide line. The reason why I'm kind of doing this is because I'm kind of getting myself really familiar. We have a little bump there under the bridges, so I'm going to push him back a little bit, come for this corner here, and quick check over my shoulder, see he's there, so I'm going to push him out a little bit and get around for these next corners. Luckily this time I've decided to keep my foot down, so I can actually follow this through completely and try and lock in that position. Again, taking the inside defensive line there is make sure he doesn't take the inside of the corner, which means as I come around here I'll take a little bit around the corner, a little bit too much steering on there, too much speed, and he finally gets around me. We have a nice little tap around the corner, and we just drive through around here, getting ready for the next lot of problems that probably me and that guy are going to have to deal with. Now then, me and that guy a lap later have actually caught up to some back markers, so we're going to have to probably work on this one, as we'll soon find out. He's been held back, as you can see. I'm starting to actually slightly catch up to him, and the two guys in front are actually fighting each other, so it seems like it's going to have to be a bit of a team effort on this one. As you can see, that guy really doesn't get anywhere, and I'm really catching up to him now. The one in blue kind of has a bad corner push, the one in red, I push it out to the outside, see if anything happens, but it just puts me in a better position ready, and I'm going to flick it around this corner, take it nice and tight, get us in a good position. I'm thinking maybe I could squeeze in on that guy, but a little bump there kind of puts us in a bad situation. That guy gives us the signal that we need to work together, so what he's going to do is, as he gets the squeeze through, he's just going to get a little bit locked out, and again these guys are going to fight it out. That guy has a little bump into the one in blue, and he's there giving me the signal, right, there's a chance for the gap, and we push through quite nicely, and that's how we get through to the next part of the race. Here we've got some more back markers, and I'm still with that guy. He goes up for the inside attack, try and push out blue, and he manages to get the overtake here, and we carry on. Yellow flags up, another guy's hit just in the corner before last. I think that was the guy that we were fighting with a little bit earlier, but as we move on, it's just a nice little bit of yellow lights, waiting for the race restart, taking up time. If anything, we just kind of want to get going because we're coming into the last 9 minutes of this 15-minute public 3for2, and away we go. As we get driving again, I'll take the nice tighter line around here, and that guy's going to absolutely be trying to push through for the red guy because you don't want to be fine with the blue. And as we get around this corner, blue guy kind of like pushes it way too deep in there to get the overtake and keep driving on. Now the race here is getting actually quite interesting between that guy and the Teamsport red guys. He drives around the corner, they're absolutely fighting for it. You can tell it's only going to be a matter of time, but just ahead, as you can see the checkered flag, so if the move's going to stick, it's going to be at this point, and that guy gets around just on the same corner he overtook me. So I'm going to see if I can push it by the end of this lap, just to even catch up to the red Teamsport guy, and see if we can get the overtake just before the yellow lights come on. As we get around this corner, I'm half expecting it just to happen, but I'm not getting the pace. There's yellow flags, and that's the end of the first session. Quite a fun bit there, quite a bit going on, but you know, we'll see what happens next. Now into race 2. We just got the number 7 ahead of us in the blue overalls. Don't miss the yellow lights this time, so we're going to actually drive through. What we're going to get is this nice and tighter line. We've learned the mistakes from the second session, so what we're going to do is get underneath this bridge. I can see that entrance is a little bit wide, so I'm going to set myself up for the switchback and get around him nice and tidy. And as we come around this corner, I know that we've got some guys behind us, definitely more experienced members that are a lot more faster than me, so I'll take that defensive line and keep it pushed in nice and tight all the way around these corners, get this a little bit better on the exit, and try to hold that position. Now one of the time we sort of give him the room is one of the chaps from Bradford, and along with his mate, who'll be paying attention to those guys later in the race. As they get through, try to push back in on the apex, don't quite work out, lose the speed, and then the orange, that guy gets through as well, leaving me behind. So now it's just a matter of trying to catch up to these guys. They've got a lot more experience and a bit more speed than me on this track, so it's just a matter of just seeing what we can do later on. Now I've caught up to these two over here in the blue Teamsport suits, so what we're going to try and do is see if there's any lines, but one's starting to open up just on this inside here, so they're getting contact a little bit there. I tried to go in for a little bit of a tight line, but Nine's cut that off. So now it's just seeing what mistakes happen. His mates there dove in a little bit too tight to the corner, so between these two there's going to be another fight, which gives me another opportunity to catch up. So we come around these corners, half expecting mistakes from, but they managed to take it quite nicely. In fact, number 9's got a better run here as he comes around the corner, overtakes his mate, and there we go. So we come around this next corner, double right hand out, push again for that attacking line, see if we can get a bit more speed and catch through. We get the outside line, and we'll cut the off, and as we come around the corner, we get just the inside line, meaning that we're going to get ourselves in a nice position. It means it's tight, slower exit on the way around, and as we come across, I'm well aware just to the left of me, they're ready to take it back. So now we're just fighting on the inside line and trying to push him out, lock him out there, and his friend's there to push back through. So now it's another fight to get past, so I'm just thinking how we're going to get around it. We'll go for the same as we've done as usual. We've got this nice bit where we can go for a switchback, he takes it tight, locks up a little bit, and they're going to the barrier, they're both ahead of me. At this point, I'm thinking how am I going to get past these two as we're going through. So again, take the inside line, I can push this one out, and therefore we can get that corner, but go a bit wide so don't do the same mistake as they did before. So now as we're coming down here, I see one of the members is actually coming around, he's got the speed to get around me, so I thought, right, we'll just follow him, see if we can get a workaround, and instead we've had to do a little bit of a stop because this guy's just kind of end up going out a bit too wide on the corner. So now it's back to me by myself, so we'll come around this corner. Again, we'll look at the switchback here. Nothing's quite happening, so what we'll do is we'll get the inside, kind of have to do a bit of a basic manoeuvre, come out a little bit there for the inside. It covers me off, give a bump. Now I'm getting a little bit frustrated with him now because he's a bit all over. So we're going to see what we can do. Coming over the bridge, we'll take that nice bit up for the inside of the corners, get around this corner, see what we can do. Nothing's there. He's weaving a little bit more now, so I'm thinking, is it going to be one of those races for me? But again, we'll come around this double right-hander. Again, he kind of goes in the middle. We'll go for a little bit of switchback. Got a bit more power, but just not quite there. Falling around the corners. There he goes. He pushes out way too wide, which means he's going to be slow around here. There's the red flag. I'm thinking, right, this is where we're going to go. I'm going to go for a stop. And I think he's just decided he's had enough of racing me. So he goes over the bridge and eventually decides, or I'm guessing he's going to stop at some point. Back on the race restart, we're just driving along here, and you can see number 9, we finally caught up to him with another member ahead of us, so I'm trying to see if we can get that nice inside line. I've got another guy behind us, but we're just going to keep pushing, see if we can get this manoeuvre. As you can see, he ends up going too deep into that corner, opens up that space a little bit, and there we go. We don't have to worry about him after he ran off after that red light, do we? As we set off and carry on in a nice little pace, bit of distance, and away we go. So we're actually now into race 3. Got this nice little clearing ahead of me, so we're just going to drive ahead and see what we can do as fresh air. We see one of the Bradford lads has managed to get past us, and here comes his friend, but unfortunately closes me out. And there's a big old crash. I'm glad that that guy stops in plenty of time, and his mate's just there. Yeah, and honestly, there was a bit of awful pain, but props to the marshal who's out just as quick to make sure we can get out. So yeah, pushes me back. We're going to wave our friend through as a little thanks for making sure he did stop for us, and we're going to crack on with the rest of the race from here. Now the guys that did come from Bradford, I just got to say, good set of lads. We met up afterwards and had a chat about it all. We're all cool. Again, didn't realise that they were from Bradford at this time, but you know, it's a small world, and it was a great time seeing them. We had a little chat. They apologised. I was like, you know, it's for the local sport at the end of the day, and we're just here to have a good time. So here we are behind one of our guys in number 4, the blue Teamsport suit, and what we're going to do is just try and see if we can get this a little bit of a turn done. We get the inside here. You can see he's nodded his head. He knows we've got the corner. We're just going to follow through at this point here. So we're on the back of number 11 here. We're going to try and get around for another little bit of an overtake, but here's number 4 kind of pushing out, so I've got the speed, kind of pushing out a little bit and get around these next couple of corners. So now it's just a matter of catching up some speed. As we can see here, I'm a little bit faster on the corners than number 11. We've got to get that corner. His mate just slows him down. We're going to see some classic public sessions. We get pushed into the wall as he's turned into me. He taps his mate. 2 of them go spinning around. I think, right, well, I've got this corner. His friend's got me inside. Spins himself out. And that's classic public sessions, isn't it, for you, ladies and gentlemen? But we're just going to go on and see how we can get on faring in the rest of this session. Back onto the heels of number 11 again after we both survived that chaos. I'm here going thinking we'll get the switch back. He kind of just pushes me in a little bit tight, but we're fine. We'll get the inside line here to follow up, and again just set up for that nice overtake that we've been doing previously by pushing him out a little bit wide. Come around here, I just have to check over my shoulder because there was a lot of people around that corner as it came around, but luckily everyone got through fine and the race continues. And we're going to see an extreme case of defend here with number 4 as he pushes me into the barriers here. I'm a little bit mad here, so I think, right, I'll go and get on the next corner, pushes me into the barrier there, kind of knocks it all over. Yellow followed by red, so I come to a stop. Other guy goes, but he comes to a stop, whilst number 4 just sails it off over the bridge and on the other side. Don't think he wants to race me at this point. And now we know we're coming up to the final lap here, so it's coming up to the end of the day. So thank you guys. So if you've stuck around to this end of the video, give us a like and subscribe, and any comments in the video. I do often go back through and have a little chat with people if they do make comments, as you probably seen from the shorts I also post as well. just as say on this, even going to a public 3for2s, it's not utter chaos and carnage all the time. It is actually a good way for a bit of practice of some people driving with unorthodox practices. But I love it, to be honest, even if that guy's deciding he's going for another lap. But it's a great session, I highly recommend it, and I'll hope to see you again in the next video.